Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. My name is Betty and in this video I am going to talk about the books I read in July. I read 6 books in total and I read all of them in the first 2 weeks of July because I got into a reading slump in the last 2 weeks of July and I didn't finish one single book, but I still managed to read 6, so that is pretty good. So yeah, let's begin the video. The first book I read in July was Verity by Colleen Hoover, and this book is about Lowen, and she's an author, but she's struggling financially, and now they are offering her a job. She has to finish writing this series. This series was originally written by Verity, but Verity got into an accident and she is now injured and can't finish the series anymore, so now Lowen has to do it. When Lowen arrives at the house, he almost immediately finds this manuscript, and this includes all of the highlights and big important moments in Verity's life, but it's like very dark. It also includes what really happens on the day their daughter died, and it's like very dark. At the same time, Lowen also starts to get feelings for Jeremy, who is Verity's husband. She keeps this manuscript a secret from him because she thinks this will definitely hurt his feelings. So I read this book before the movie comes out, and honestly, after reading this book, I'm not even sure if I want to watch that movie anymore, because I wasn't impressed by this book. I wouldn't say it was boring, but I don't know. I think I just saw the plot twist coming or something. It was not that interesting in my opinion. And also I found that the main character Lowen was super annoying. I did not like her at all, and she was also a very slow reader. I mean, she finds this manuscript and it's very dark and it's about Verity's life. If it was me, I would have read the whole thing in one day, but she reads like one chapter a day, and that was so annoying too. So yeah, think I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads. This was not really my thing. The next book I read was Off to the Races by Elsie Silver, and this book is about Vaughn and Billy. So Vaughn is the owner of the Gold Rush Ranch, and his grandfather recently passed away. And a scandal about his grandfather fixing races just arises, and he wants to fix this whole situation. So he hires Billy, a horse trainer. At first he thinks that Billy is a man, but then he finds out that Billy is actually a woman, but she's like really good at her job. She is like one of the best. And he gives her the impossible task to make the horse Double Diablo win a race. And of course there's a whole love story as well. This is the first book in this series. I liked it, but I think I prefer the Rose Hill and the Chestnut Springs series. It was still cute though. I really liked it. I liked those moments when it was just about Billy and her horse. Those moments were like very cute and beautiful. There was also a moment that I cried a little bit, and yeah, it was not my favorite book by Elsie Silver, but it was good enough for me. The next one is The Summer She Went Missing by Chelsea Ikaso. I'm not really sure how to pronounce her last name, but it's this book. And this book is about Paige, and she always spends her summers at Clearwater Ridge. Her family shares a home with the Covingtons, and Audrey Covington is the daughter, and Paige and Audrey are best friends. But suddenly Audrey is acting all weird and Paige has no idea what is going on. And then one day Audrey does not come home and she is missing. 1 year later she is still missing, but this time Paige is trying to find out what really happened, she wants to know what happened to Audrey, what is going on in this small town, because Audrey wasn't the only girl who went missing, and she gets the help from Audrey's brother Dylan. This was a really good book. I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. I really enjoyed it. I like that I did not see the plot twist coming. That was a total surprise and I liked it. I always like when books have a major plot twist. But yeah, I wanted to keep reading. I wanted to find out what happens to Audrey and the other missing girls, and I really enjoyed this book. The next book I read was Night Shift by Annie Crown, and this book is about Kendall, and she's a student, but she's not the biggest fan of parties. So while her friends and roommates are going out, having fun, drinking a lot, she spends her time working her night shift at the library and reading. And one night she meets Vincent, he is the captain of the basketball team, and he asks her for a recommendation for a book, and she helps him. But without even thinking, she also kisses him because there's like a lot of chemistry between the two. I don't always like the instant lust trope in romance books. I think I prefer the slow burn ones, but I really enjoyed this book. This book was so much fun for me. The characters were likable. Kendall and I have a lot of things in common. Kendall likes to read romance, a dark romance, and she does this anywhere, anytime. She reads a lot, and I love that. I love reading romance, and she also prefers reading over going to parties and drinking, and that is also me. So yeah, for me this book was very fun to read. The next book I read was Rewind It Back by Liz Ford, and this book is about Rio. Rio is an ice hockey player and he's still single, but he really wants to find his soulmate. He wants to be in a relationship. So one day at his game, he finds Hallie in the audience. He met Hallie when he was like 12 years old. She moved in next doors and they became friends like immediately and eventually lovers. But something terrible happened back then and they broke off. But now Hallie is back in his life. So I love Rio. I was looking forward to read his story, his love story. I think he is still like so super cute. This might be actually my favorite one in the series. I'm kind of sad this was also the last one in the series, but I really loved reading this book. The next book I read was The Holiday Honeymoon Suite by Julia McKay, and this book is about Holly and Ivy, and they are best friends, but Holly just got dumped by her fiance the night before the wedding, and Holly was supposed to go on a honeymoon to Hawaii, and Ivy was supposed to go to a very small cabin in the middle of nowhere, and they decide to switch holidays. So now Ivy is going to Hawaii, and that is also where she meets Oliver, and Holly is going to the small cabin, and on her first day she meets Aiden, and he is someone she used to know. So for me this was another fun book. I really enjoyed this one as well. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, which is really good. This book was giving me the holiday vibes, the movie with Cameron Diaz. It was so much fun to read. I liked the pace of this book. It was not going too slow. It was like fast paced, which I prefer. So yeah, another great book that I read this month. So these were the books I read in July. Let me know down below in the comment section which books you read last month. I really hope that August is going to be a better reading month for me. But we'll see. For now, thank you for watching this video and I'll see you next time.